Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Living the Liberated Life with Dr. KJ. Once again, I am so excited and glad that you all have decided to join with us in another episode of Living the Liberated Life with Dr. KJ. Tonight, I am so excited. I'm so delighted. I'm so pleased that I have a wonderful, wonderful guest with me. Now, not everybody is able to get an Oscar, not Oscar, but a Grammy Award nominee to be on their show. So I'm so excited tonight that I'm one of those. I can say that. So tonight, this young lady, I have had the opportunity to know her for several years. I don't even know how many years, but we'll get into how we met. But what I do know is she is a gift. Her gift is so amazing that every time, there's not one time I've heard this sister play her instrument that I was not moved. I did not cry. I did not get emotional. She is just a gift to the body. She is a gift to music. She is an up and coming. I'm speaking prophetically. She is a legend. She's a legend already. And so I'm so delighted tonight for each of you that's joining us to introduce to some and to present to others none other than Miss LaKecia Benjamin. She's in the building. Let me bring her on in. My sister is in the building.
How you doing?
Hey. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad you're doing so well.
Yes. I'm excited. Tonight I've been I've been listening to some of your music and I've just been, kind of vegging out. You know how that is. You understand. You are a jazz artist. And so let's talk about how we met, how we connected. What was your first, what do you remember? And then I'll tell what I remember.
First time I remember ever seeing you, every time me and you connected.
Yeah, we connected. What was our connection? How did we connect?
Oh, for me, I was playing at Greater Centennial Church in Mount Vernon. That's where I guess I came under the tutelage of Melusina Reberg there. And there was one day I was, I'm always watching the ministers and listening to what they have to say. And I think one day I said hi to you and I said, oh my God, you have such a beautiful bracelet. I look at it all the time. And you actually took your arm and gave it to me and said, now it's you. And I wore that bracelet till it broke down. And then I had it fixed. Still have it in my house. I have it hanging on the wall in a case.
Oh, wow. Wow, you never know what something means to someone, right? That's amazing. I think for me, yes, we met at Greater Centennial. I was a minister at Greater Centennial Amy Zion Church in Money Earning, Mount Vernon. And the band is playing, they're ministering in a powerful way. But then this sister gets up and this sister starts to blow, right? and you played in such a powerful way that I was just like mesmerized. And I was just like, if I ever have a church, if I ever have a studio, if I ever, have to do anything, I want her to be a part of it. She has to be a part of it because your gift is so amazing. And it blesses me each time. But Sister LaKecia, I want you to tell those that are watching us, those that are joining us tonight, what got you started on this path to music? Like how did this all begin?
In the very beginning for music, I would say I grew up in Washington Heights, New York City. So I wasn't music around. Nobody in my family plays music, but we got to that point, 3rd, 4th grade, where they are asking if we want to be in art, if we want to be in chorus, if we want to be in music. And I knew right away, I was like, chorus, I'm not going to run nobody out of here. And then I went to art class and I was drawing a bunch and I was like, oh, this is so much fun. And then to the music class and, they had the instruments all hanging on the wall. And I looked up and I saw alto saxophone. I said, oh my God, what is that? He said, he handed me one and it was a tenor sax. I said, no, not that one. What's that one? He's like, oh, it's the same. I said, it's not the same. And he gave me one and I said, this is what I want to play. So we agreed that I would play it. Next year came. The teacher for music completely switched to another school. So I showed up and I said, "Hey, sir, I'm here to play the alto saxophone. I'm destined to play the alto saxophone." And he said, "Nope, there's no more alto saxophones, and we're not taking no kids." I said, "No, you taking kids, you taking me. I'm playing alto saxophone." And he said, "All full, and I would have to come back another time." And I said, "Well, who's saxophone?" And there was a young lady and a couple guys that were playing. So I approached her at lunch. I said, "Hey, you playing the alto saxophone?" She said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Do you like it?" She said, "I just started, but I'm not sure." I said, "Why don't you lend it to me, and I'll give you a couple of my Oreos."
Not the Oreos. You're not bribing them with the Oreo cookies. Was it double stuffed? That's what I want to know. Was it double stuffed?
Here the Oreo. She gave me the saxophone. I took it home, and I had all the sax books that I had gotten from the library that I had been practicing air sax for like a whole to be a saxophone player. So I got the sax. I looked at it. I liked it. I looked at how the screws went on the sax, and I said, "Oh man, it's a lot of screws." So I just took a couple of those screws out. I didn't know what they did, but I took them out. Gave it back. He comes running up to me at lunch. "The sax is not working. I can't get a new sound. It says I got to get it fixed myself. I'm going to get in trouble with my mother." And I said, "Well, I didn't play it because I don't have a mouthpiece. But, if you want me to help you out, you could get into my art class and I'll take the sax and I could try to get my uncle to fix it." He said, "Okay, let's do it." He went to art. I came, told him, "Hey, I got a sax." He said, "It doesn't work. That girl broke it." I put the screws right back in that thing and said, "Let's try it now." He gave me a mouthpiece and something. It took me about an hour, but I finally got a note out. And he looked at me. He said, "Did you break that sax?" I said, "I don't know." And he said, he just gave me a high five. He said, "Let's start together." He's still my road manager.
Really? Because he knew you knew how to maneuver and scheme.
Well, he luckily unknown to me then. He was a teacher. He had just started learning to teach in the schools, but he was also part-time with like a lot of jazz legends, Ron Carter, Christian McBride. Was already a star. So I got older and realized that it was his natural job.
Right. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. So you mentioned that you grew up in Washington Heights, right? So that's a predominantly Hispanic
Absolutely
neighborhood, right? And so what is your nationality? You born and raised in Washington Heights? Like who is LaKecia Benjamin? Tell us.
Absolutely born and raised in Washington. I'm African American. My parents are from Atlanta and Virginia. They came up north to visit my great grandmother that bought a brownstone up there. And I just popped out. So they said, "We don't have enough money to go back," because they were so young. So I stayed there. I became Washington Heights. The neighborhood, mostly Dominican, Puerto Rican, a couple Ecuadorian, Peruvian, stuff like that. But now it's more. But then it wasn't really any African Americans. And there's a Jewish university there too. So a little bit of, but really all night long is what you're going to hear. Merengue, salsa, people partying outside.
Tito Puente, you're going to hear, right? Right. Okay.
And when I was a kid, I didn't even know that I wasn't Dominican because every friend I had was Dominican. When I started playing the saxophone, I started playing in merengue bands, running the block parties. I was playing on TV with the merengue bands, like a lot of the stars back then. I started only playing Latin music. I had no other style of music or awareness that there was another type of music. Besides, I'm not going to say my mom was listening to hip hop in the house. I knew that existed.
Right.
There was no horns or saxophones or anything. My whole job was to keep my neighbors on the dance floor nonstop.
Okay, listen, and that's a tough task, right? Keeping people on the dance floor, right? So you mentioned that you're the only person who is musical, so to speak, in your family. So you have any siblings? Any of your siblings? Or your only child?
I had a young sister, but she passed away during that Greater Centennial tenure. But so now I guess I'm kind of the only child now. But there was a lot of trauma and adversity growing up for sure.
Yeah. I can understand that. So when did you discover the gift? You said that you knew how to play, but I mean, like, I played the clarinet, when I was younger. I played the piano when I was younger, but there was a moment that I realized that I had a gift for something else. So when did you realize that it wasn't just you were really good at taking the instrument apart, but you were really good at bringing the instrument to life?
I think those are, I guess, when I started playing saxophone, the moment I got that sax started playing, I was 11. You didn't have to tell me to practice 5-6 hours a day. I was nonstop. If we're at the dinner table, I was fingering the notes. I found a peace and a comfort and a purpose right away. But I started dancing through the music and really started to play shows and cultivate with audiences. I started to realize that I have a need to connect with audiences and a need to share and a need to, I wouldn't just say heal and relate, but to have an experience together. And it became not even like for a show. It didn't matter if it was church. It didn't matter if it was a banquet. It didn't matter if I'm walking a bride down the aisle. I felt that be of to service. You know, I've always have felt that musicians are here to serve. So I realized that, you know, I'm hoping that I'm a blessing and I'm hoping that I give, but my actual job and reason for being is to be here for the people, and wherever God go to these places and be there.
That's so amazing that you use particularly the word service, because as one who is a minister, you know, oftentimes we are called on in ministry. And even as a minister / artist, one who is called on to sing, to dance in different areas and different spaces, oftentimes when we are called to do these things, there are people, if they don't have a love and a passion for it, they don't see it as I'm serving or I'm a vessel, right? So it sounds like you connected with God early on. Is that true? Or
absolutely, my family is no joke. My great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, all love the Lord at all times, and they are not playing games with you. And what there is that in the undertone of everything for me, but you're right in terms of service. But I have found in the professional field of music, there are artists out here and people out here that are looking for glory, that are looking for glamour, looking for accolades, and that is driving the material things. But you know, if someone promised me I was never going to get another dollar, I would be here to serve no matter what.
Wow.
So that's when I realized I don't even have a choice in the matter. I can't switch it up and do something. It's all, you know.
And what's so I really love about that is that you ooze that, right? There's some people that will say that because they're in an interview, right? But your countenance, when you get up to minister, it is not about LaKecia. It is definitely about the message or the healing that you're offering, right? And God is offering through you. So I love that. So who are some of your musical influences? Who have been people, artists that have influenced you? Because honestly, I'll tell you this, my father, and I didn't say this at the top of the show. We were a little flustered. We had a little technical difficulty at the top of the show, but my dad was, my father and my uncle, right? They were both jazzmen. They loved jazz. Like, you know, the anniversary of my dad's passing will be in March, right? And, but as we think about and we begin to remember him, you know, we remember him in everything that we do. But one of the number one things is his musical collection. Like we have CDs, tapes, what do you call it? Vinyl. We have so much music between my dad and my uncle. And I think some of the music that I've heard those are some of the people that I really loved. I really enjoyed. My father, two of my father's favorites, we played them even at his funeral. Herb Alpert. His song was Rise. And his number one song was Feel So Good, Chuck Mangione. And so even as, you know, as a part of his services, those are songs that we played just for him. So those are two songs that will forever be in the annals of time, remembered with him. So what are some of the songs, who are some of the artists that impacted your journey?
Man, I mean, I am a bit of a genreless person, so I can go through multiple genres of people, you know, just some of the people that I've gotten to work with that I've always loved their music, but then after meeting them and seeing them, I would say one of the most influential for me was a Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yes.
Meeting Prince and playing with him and understanding what it means to grind the music out and to love God.
Mm.
I never met John Coltrane, but
Mm.
Coltrane, Miles Davis, Duke Ellington, Sly and the Family Stone, Marvin,
Mm-hmm.
Donny Hathaway,
Call the roll, girl.
Andrew, Dorinda, this
Mm-hmm.
LaShawn Price, that Walter Hawkins, Marvin Wines. I mean, I can go through them. There's just so many. I mean, Biggie Smalls right there, Tupac. I even got a thing for Pink. I mean, I appreciate people that do what they do with all.
Mm.
But some here there is no replacement for them.
Mm.
Jackson. I'm actually going to the Janet Jackson concert.
Oh, you fancy? Okay.
I thought it was awful that I never got to see Michael Jackson play, though he was alive when I was alive.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go out without seeing Janet and actually just taking her hand and saying thank you for the influence you had on women artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you just gave us a great segue. Let's talk about being a female artist. Wow. What are those dynamics like?
I mean, I think, sometimes art and just can reflect the culture and reflect life, so female artist, female doctor, female minister, they all are still the underdog squad and still the up and coming. And while the numbers are multiplying, and as long as I'm here and I can help it, I'm going to drag at least 19, 20 students with me to come kicking.
Nice.
So
nice. I love that. So, I have a list of questions here. You shared a little bit about, the people that have influenced you, but then how were you discovered? How were you in particular discovered?
Like which artist discovered me?
Which artist discovered you? What was your first big gig? What was that moment?
I've had a couple of, I guess, big gigs that have come and gone, but I would say let's say Stevie, that was a huge influence for me. That started out for me when during the Obama period. I had went down to the inaugural ball and I was supposed to play with Regina Bell for one of the balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already, Regina Bell. I was excited about that. And he called me and he said, "Are you in DC?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I saw you posted on Facebook." I was like, "I'm in DC." He said, "We're doing a Lifetime Achievement Award for Maya Angelou."
Oh my God.
Said, "Would you like to come?" And he has a real, funky P-funk kind of band. So I said, "Ain't nothing but a word, brother." So I came over here. We get black tie. Dr. Angelo's there. We're amazed. We think the night is over. This has been an amazing night. And tomorrow, Obama will be our president. A man comes running in the room. "Hey, band, y'all ready to be a band?" We're like, "What?" He said, "Y'all want to come down to the, I think the Building of Commerce or something and play with Stevie Wonder. He's getting an award." And I was like, "Get out of here. You lying." He's like, "Play with Stevie Wonder now or what?" And I was like, "What we got to do?" He said, "You got to get up and come right now. You can't take no stuff. You can't take no coat. You got to get up and we got to run and we got to make this." Mm-hmm. We all look at each other, pew, hit the deck.
No questions asked. Let's just go.
As we run, we get in there. They got set up, start playing. We just start playing songs. About an hour and a half. I'm like, "Hey, tell my friend." I said, "I think this is a hustle, man. Ain't no money coming. We keeping this audience on the dance floor. It's been hours now." Finally, he's like, "We're gonna keep playing." Finally, I see kind of like the little fade back dreads.
Not the fade back.
I said, "I think that's Brother Stevie." So he comes onto the stage, gets his award, sits down. I'm on a riser, but the piano is right in front of me. Mm-hmm. So if I stuck out my hand, I could touch him. Mm. I'm standing there. He starts playing one of his songs. I can't remember which one. So he's cueing us to come in, and we like, "Let's go." Come in. We play the song. At this point, it's over. We've had the time of our lives. It doesn't get no better than this. The handler tries to pick him up to get him up. He shakes him off, says, "Get off me." Sits down, keeps playing. We play another hour and a half. Wow. Going back and forth through his repertoire.
Wow.
Finally, I'm having the time of my life. Finally, we get to a song. I think it's called "All I Do." So we're doing "All I Do."
All I Do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's doing that song, and I know because one thing I will do is study music. I said, this song has an alto solo on it. and what's gonna happen when we get there. So we playing a song, and I keep thinking in my head, I say, I'm gonna give it to my friend since this is his gig. We get closer, looks at me and says, you might as well take it from across the room. And I was like, it's your thing, do your thing. Stevie Wonder on his microphone says, somebody solo. So I start thinking it's like super speed motion. I say, you know what? I'm gonna just play the solo from the record, the beginning line, so he knows that I know.
Right.
I start off with that line. Da, 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 da. He goes, yeah.
It's the voices for me. It's the voices.
In the room, I'm like, yeah. So they're all yelling at me. So I'm hyped up. I start playing the whole solo that I learned from the record. It gets to the end of it. He said, keep going. Play the song. Eventually after 2 more songs, the show ends. People are like holding me on top of their shoulders, like, oh my God, Kecia. I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy. I'm not thinking nothing of it. We just had a good night. We're gonna hang out. His handler kind of pulls me down from the guy and said, Stevie wants to talk to you. I said, you want to talk to me? He said, yes. I go back there thinking he gonna give me a lesson about what I need to learn to do. I go back there. I said, how you doing, Mr. Wonder? He said, yeah. Sound good. I said, can we get a picture? We get the picture. He said, give my man your telephone number. I said, my telephone number? He said, yeah. I said, okay. He asked me where I'm from, everything. The night ends. I don't hear nothing from him. 2 months later, I get a call saying, Stevie needs you to come to Europe to do some dates.
Wow.
You make it. So I'm trying to be preserved. I said, oh, yeah. Listen, how much you going to pay me? The guy said, you coming tonight? I said, I'm on my way, sir.
Right. I'm on my way.
With the JFK, I called everybody. I ain't gonna be in this week. I ain't gonna be in this. Situation with one older sax player's passports, so it was a last minute thing. He remembered, but that started me on the track with him.
Wow. When Stevie calls, LaKecia's gone, right? You out. No need to question. So some of what you shared, I think it's really great for persons in any profession to really pay attention, because one of the things you said was you like to study, and you also said that you were prepared. One of the things that I've been taught is, we've always heard, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And you were prepared, you were ready, you had studied this particular musician's music, you were familiar with the music, so you were able to jump in and you were able to seize an opportunity. So with that being said, can you share with us a few tidbits on how you prepare? How do you prepare for a big gig? Even if you don't know that Stevie Wonder's going to be calling, how do you usually prepare for your performances?
First of all, I root myself in discipline.
That's good.
Work out 5 to 6 days a week. I meditate. I keep my mind and prayer life up. I believe that you can do any type of innovation if you're not rooted in tradition. Doing whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm striving to be better at, I try to learn everything possible with the masters. I don't want to go into a church and a song comes up and a worship experience comes up and something happens. And because I haven't prepared in song, I can't move with it. And now even when I have to hesitate. Spontaneity can only come when excellence is there. So Say that
again for the people in the back. Say it again.
Spontaneity can only come when excellence is there. You're nervous, you're moving around, you're fidgeting. What song is that? What key you in? What you doing? So if you prepare, you know the traditional hymns, you know the traditional way it's gone, you know the new way it's gone, and you study and you practice and you listen, because it's anybody that loves something is a joy to study. So I try to do that even in my shows with my band. I try to constantly encourage them. We are not going to keep playing the same way. 2023 is past. 2024 is here. We should be better. And if you want to see, you need to be better each time.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So now how did you end up playing in church now? So we know that but out there, Stevie was, Stevie, that happened. You were singing at the merengue clubs. You were keeping the people on the dance floor, right? So, you were out there. You had a little, look, I did my homework. You had a little Missy Elliott endeavor. Counselor, right? I did my homework, right? So you've been working with some different people. You did a little bit with this one and that one and the other one. You did stuff with Kool and the Gang. Come on, I've been studying, right? So we know that you have some experience in the secular genre or secular world, right?
Yeah.
What brought you to the church? What brought you to the sacred?
It was a complete accident. I can keep it. You know, my family have been trying to get me to go down there, and I was like, I need to practice 8 hours a day. I ain't got time to be down there. And, you know, in my neighborhood, it's Catholic church. Sit up, get down. Stand up, sit down. Up, down. You know, stand up, sit down. So I said, I'm all right. And one day, I was playing with this all-women band in Mount Vernon called Sage. They had a saxophone player that they was using, but she was just needed a sub. So she kept calling me. You know, I'm young. She's trying to get me on the scene. So I've been working with this band here and there with the manager, a woman named Sheila Baptista. Sheila calls me and says, church having a woman's day, and they're looking for a sax player or a horn player. I said, I don't have no time to do that, ma'am. I said, I'm busy doing what I'm doing. I'm touring. I'm getting around, but I appreciate you thinking. No Amazing Grace. Can't make it. She said, okay, I understand. She called me back a couple times. She said, they're really asking about it. And I said, I can't do it, Sheila. Then she told me how much it was going to pay. I said, I'll come by there. What are you talking about, Sheila? I'll go down there. I remember I didn't have a car. Somebody came to pick me up, and we took the train. They gave me a ride down there, and they was rehearsing the choir down in the basement down there. I went myself. I said, how you doing, Miss Mel? My name's LaKecia Benjamin. I'm here to play saxophone for you. She said, have a seat. She's getting the choir together, so it's going to be some time. So she getting the choir together. So she teaching them the parts. So I'm learning the parts on the sax. I'm like, I'm not going to learn it. So she's doing everything. The choir members are getting mixed up. I said, no, this is the note. So I'm helping out. So she's impressed that I'm helping out. I'm playing with her. And then after we did that rehearsal, she came to me. She said, do you know what you're doing, or you just doing it? I said, ma'am, I ain't in the church. I'm just moving around and doing it. You know, I said, but I'm having the time of my life. And I said, I never heard a woman play like you, lead like you. And I said, I'm fine to play here the rest of my life if this is what you need me to do. And she just like, you know, come back to the rehearsals, and we would do this. We would do the I was calling it a show then. I said, what time is the show? She says, not a show. The service. That's right. I'll be at the show. She told me I had to find a dress. I said, what kind of dress? She said, a long one. I said, oh my God. So I went to the store and I got a long dress at the Hasidic store. And I was that's when I guess the first time I dealt life, I had sat in a service willingly. Bishop Moore was preaching, and he wasn't Bishop Moore yet. So I was listening to him, and I couldn't believe what he was saying. I was like, I was up all 3 services. I said, the people in the congregation, everything that was happening, I said, this is a wild experience for me. And I was so out of place that in the rehearsal, I had sat on the altar to set up my sax. And Nicole came and got me. She said, let me move you off this altar before they. I said, what? That's an altar? She said, yeah. I said, I thought it was a bar. She said, no.
That's an altar. That's what she
moved me to the side. We finished the service, everything. And almost 2 or 3 times a week, I was calling now. I just want to say hi, keep in touch. That's just the way my ambition is. Keep in touch, say hi. I said, I've been listening to my grandma's gospel tapes. You know, I got this song down, playing on the phone. And for, I want to say, 3 years, she never called me back. I never answered. And I said, I got time. I kept calling. Just, I wanted to see if I could get some private lessons, because I also play piano. See if I can get some lessons, piano, everything. Then one day she called back and said, yeah, I need a sax player. Can you play 7 and 9:30? I said, but you don't even know if I know the music. She said, I'll see you there. I said, you know, what's going on? I called Sheila. She said anything about money. I said, we didn't talk about anything. Down there, I said, yeah, I'm gonna go down there. And I went down there that first service. She didn't give me no music. She didn't tell me what the choir sing. She didn't send me their selections. And we started, and I was forced by ear to figure out what was going on. And after the service, she said, how'd it go? And then I said, you know, it's going great. I said, I'm gonna need your help to understand what I need to be learning and what materials I need to start learning. And I'm all in. You know, so she gave me a hymn book. She gave me a Bible. And she said, take every time you come to church, take the whole service. And this time, and that's how we started.
Wow. Wow. And how long have you been there?
I had been there 10 years.
Wow.
Been there,
Wow.
yeah, the whole time. I didn't realize it was so long, but that's how long it was.
Wow. That's really great. So now tell us now about what is LaKecia doing now? I know now you were nominated for a Grammy. I was sharing with one of my girlfriends a little bit about, that I was going to be interviewing you. She's like, oh yeah, she was out in Delaware. My mother went to the jazz concert. I think it was Delaware. She's like, my mother went to, yeah, I know who you're talking about. And she said she had an accident not too many years ago. She knew all of you. She knew it all, right? So you share with us now, like, give me a little bit about your project, what's coming up next for you, how all of that plays a part in who you are today, how you came up with the concept for your current album or any of your albums.
The current album is Phoenix. It started last year, and that really started. I was already kind of on a little bit of an ascent, but that kind of really rocket fueled it. Came out last year, January 2023, on January 27th. The album came from the accident I was in. I was driving home from a jazz festival in Ohio back to New York, so about a 7-hour drive. I ended up crashing my car and waking up just in a pool of blood. And a guy was dragging me through the mud. So I wasn't aware, was there an accident? Is something else going on here? Because I had no memory recollection. What happened is I fractured my scapula. I broke my jaw. I had a brain bleed, and they were trying to rush me to the hospital. And we found out that it was 45 minutes either direction to the next exit. And then after you reach that exit, it's 30 minutes to the hospital.
Wow.
So they were trying to keep me alive. So I went from, how do I stay alive, to how do I figure out if I'm ever going to play again, because now my jaw's been broken. Then to, now that this has happened, do I have a message? So I composed all those songs during that recovery. About the album, and it was about the power of being a woman and the women that I looked up to, that, Angela Davis, Patrice Rushen, Diane Reed, that had inspired me in jazz to do that. And we're helping now release an album of my own music and show my personality. Trying to show a message of people to people, no matter what race you come from, no matter what gender you come from. If you can somehow find a way to be resilient and fight through and find your way, you can inspire anybody in any genre, in any profession, to potentially hang on a little longer. And through hanging on, you never know the possibilities. So that was where we started from. Out of nowhere, we did 3 or 4 30-day European tours. We've been to Brazil, UK, we've been to Belgium, Croatia, Lithuania, France, Tokyo. We've been everywhere touring this thing. That last year, I was the artist in residence for the Monterey Jazz Festival. I was the Library of Congress scholar. So they've actually entered in this year into the library. I had a ceremony. They entered in my papers into the library.
Wow.
We had so many things. We played at the Newport Jazz Festival. We got we won there's a German jazz Grammy. We won the Grammy for that, for best new artist. Won all these things. And then the end of the year comes, and then we find out we're nominated for 3 Grammys. So I'm the only jazz musician that's been nominated for 3, and the only woman that's been nominated for 3 in jazz. So we just came back. We've been nominated. This is still coming up, the NAACP Outstanding Jazz Album Award. So many accolades and things have come from that story. So they're sitting on these world tours like everything. I'm writing new music and new projects, And I learned a lot. That was my first time attending a Grammy, seeing a Grammys. And, the people I lost to, John Williams, he had 26 Grammys. So I am definitely a competitive person and everything, but it taught me, like, to live by what I'm talking about. I got myself here. God got me here. There was a reason for that album, everything we did. And I had that experience, and I got to meet those masters and legends and keep moving forward. My time will come. Whatever is meant for me is meant for me. But to be able to fellowship with your peers and understandings and have the environment was exciting. So right now we're working on new music and trying to move new things and find more people to touch. When I do a lot of these gigs that I do, they have a cultural component. So we talk to the kids and ask them what's going on. Just while I was in San Antonio last weekend, how do you keep going? as a 14-year-old girl, how do you persevere? You know, I said it's hard because it's easy to say keep going, but once you get kicked down, it really hurts. And I said, you know, a lot of my story, a lot of people call me to talk about, yeah, we got this. And now with the Grammys, you got 3 Grammy nominations. We don't talk about what it's felt like to sit there 3 times and lose 3 times in a row. We don't. I said, but right now,
how about that? Yeah.
The person you're seeing right now, I was like, people are dying to be in my shoes right now, have the experience I'm having, and to keep the opportunity to keep going up. But I had to look myself in the face and say, how to feel that pain, how to deal with it, to be so close to something that is the highest award, to be shut out 3 times. So I asked myself why, what's going on. I said, so right now I'm struggling with that. Am I embarrassed by it? Am I feeling it? But I know that. I'm here talking to you, right? You're watching. How do I react to it? What do I do? Do I keep going? How can I tell you to keep going? You know, you have to practice gratitude. Even allows you. You know, you don't know what the plan is, but now I'm here talking to you. So maybe I never get another one. Maybe I never get another chance. But maybe because I cracked the door open, you can now kick it down.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
I've been trying to figure out just like how to keep going forward and keep doing what you're doing, because the schedule is strenuous, girl. The schedule.
So what is your diet like then? I mean, with that, I mean, and I don't want to, let me not just go straight to your diet and all that good stuff without just highlighting that you spoke about having to sit there, being a nominee 3 times, right? And I believe that there's somebody that may be watching that's just like, oh, but she got nominated, because you hear people like, oh, it was an honor just to be nominated, right? We always hear that, right? But the reality is, there was a sense of rejection. There was a sense of failure. There was a sense of not measuring up. If you didn't have the self-esteem, if you didn't have the knowledge or the outlook, right, that the Lord, that God was watching over you, that God had ordered your steps to that place, that God is the one who rewards you, right, then you would have been really caught up in, I lost, I'm a failure, I didn't do it. But you made it a mighty long way, right?
Made it a long way. Sometimes you have to realize it, because I'm telling you, it was difficult to not say, come on, God, not one? You can't just slip one by. And I was actually there. They were giving out ties, girl. They gave 2 people ties. I said, you can't give me a tie, bro. So I could think that way and stuff like that. But I always tell people, as far as you've come and you look back and you say, I've come so long, how can I keep going? When you turn the other way, there is a long way to go.
Yes.
Story. So you don't know. You know, there's multiple stages in a career, multiple reasons why, multiple things that you can't see. I said, but absolutely did it hurt. I tell people to feel what you have to feel, because you need it.
Yeah. And you feeling what you felt allowed you to be able to relate with the Phoenix, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And be able to rise, and which is the reason why that is the name of your album. So share with us now, what is so you said you have a rigorous regimen. I've been on tour before, right? And I performed, this is several, many years ago, right? And I knew that schedule was rigorous, you know, exhausted. I was a lot younger, all that good stuff. But for you today, you being the headliner for a lot of shows, or you just, you know, being you're not necessarily in an ensemble cast, right? You are performing. It is you. People are coming to see you, right? How do you prepare for that? What is your regimen? Is it, you know, you did mention that you work out, you know, are there certain things, I know as a vocalist, there's certain things that you don't eat, you shouldn't eat, you know, you shouldn't drink prior to, you know, performing or doing a show. What does that look like for you?
I mean, just for the way I live my life, I definitely don't eat, drink. I mean, any kind of drugs or stuff like that. I stay away from that, because that's just, it's going down one way. There's physical things. I guess the working out helps me keep my body tuned, keep everything going on, keeps my self-esteem, self-worth, and my serotonin up, because it is rigorous. I try to get my sleep and stuff, all the healthy things we tell you, know, sleep and eat well, drink your water and stuff. But I will say, it starts in the mind. You have to, I'm not just going on one-nighters, get on this plane, get on this bus, drive 10 hours, show up to a lecture, then play a show, then go teach a workshop. Everyone around you is waiting for a leader to show up. So my position, my disposition, my feelings on things, my band starts to pick up on that. My tour manager, the people around me. It's a constant need to be with the on button on.
That's right. That's right.
Only when you're in your room by yourself, maybe you upgrade your seat to first class so you don't nobody have to see you, take your voice rest or something. But that is the hardest part of me, the tour. It's not so much the physical travel definitely hurts sometimes, but it's the fact that you have to show up as a thing all the time. If your brand is inspirational and motivational and resilience at Phoenix, now you are always showing up as that, and there is not necessarily anybody helping you to recharge your batteries. Find a way and find a support group and somebody that can recharge you, because when you get on the stage, you would think the band is, I'm gonna help you out. They're just looking at you like, what's up? So you are bringing energy to the audience. You are showing up. You are after the show, signing the merch and signing. Nobody wants to you sign a CD and you say you tired. They want the picture. They want to hear a pop. They want to hear a message. So to me, that is the hardest part. It's almost like you constantly have to show up and you don't know who's going to show up for you.
Right. Wow. That's rich. That's really, really rich. So, I'm gonna step out on a limb here. Well, before I step out on the limb, I'm gonna prepare myself because I have to get it up to be able to ask you to do this. But tell us about now you've taken some you talked about people feeding off of you and all those wonderful things. And I heard somebody else interviewed you and they brought this up as well. But I thought it was really dope for me to be able to bring this up. You have your own style.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you got a little style. I might have to borrow your stylist. So you have your own little style going on there. And how would you classify your style?
I guess I'm not sure what genre or whatever it goes into, but I do like it to be bright. I do like it to be a little flashy, a little edge to it. I mean, I was just raised, they see you before they hear you. So when someone sees me, they should be able to grasp a little bit of my personality before I even say anything, So I feel that's the luxury. Arts, there's, I'm just a big fan of like presenting yourself, setting the tone for what it is you want.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you got to represent, right? So, yeah, LaKecia, do you have an instrument near you? You have an instrument somewhere near you that you feel like playing for us? You think you might want to? They're not near you?
Even set up. They're not even in here.
Oh man. I was hoping we would be able to get you to play something. Let me see if there's anybody. Is there anybody that is watching tonight that has a question, anything that they would like to know? Let me just check all of my all of these outlets to see if there's anything that anybody would like to know from you and hear from you. How can we get your music? Is it downloadable?
I mean, ridiculously downloadable. Every platform possible. Any kind of social media, if you just go LaKecia B, and that's LaKecia with a B. It's very easy to find. I'm trying to see if I have a sax around here. I don't know.
Yeah, see if you have a sax. Yeah, people. So if you want to get some of her music, any of her albums, any of her recordings, you can go ahead and you can download her. She's downloadable on all. You can go to any of the places that you buy your music and get her music. This is a great time for us to support a great jazz artist, somebody who will be a great addition to your jazz portfolio, to your jazz collection. You really want to get some of her music. Her music is amazing. She is gifted. She is anointed for this. And so we want you to go ahead and grab some of her music, get some of her music today. We want to get a few sales tonight. I see something in LaKecia's hand. I'm excited. Looks like
the phone might blow it away. The phone may not take it down.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're gonna see. So we had a little technical difficulty earlier. And so Sister LaKecia, she's actually on her phone. So we're hoping that the sound won't be too powerful. But what you thinking about playing for us tonight? What are you thinking about playing for us this evening?
I don't know. It is evening, right? Evening.
This is what?
I said it is the evening.
It is evening. It is evening. Where are you right now? Where are you located right now?
Right now, I'm in Philly.
Oh, you're in Philly. Okay. All right. See, I knew you could be anywhere around the world, anywhere in the universe. You could have. So while you're doing that, what was your favorite trip? Like, where have you been? The country that you will go back again and again and again and again?
I would say Japan, Africa.
Japan. Yeah, I should have called you and had you come with us to Morocco.
Oh, in there, but I am going time in the April for International Jazz Day.
Are you?
Yep. So I don't know if I'm supposed to tell people that yet, but it is totally I'm there.
Well, you told us. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. We'll talk afterwards about how amazing it is. But okay, she's getting ready, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. I will be checking them out.
Is that too loud?
No, we hear you. That's wonderful. Well, wonderful. Amazing. Loves indeed of love. Yes. That is wonderful, man, LaKecia. So, we have to talk after this. Like, after we get off of here and everybody's watching everything, we're going to have a conversation even offline. But I ask everyone at the end of all of our shows, I ask this one question: to leave us with your last liberating thought, your final liberating thought. The name of the show is Living the Liberated Life with Dr. KJ. And so what would you share? What would your last liberating thought be? And even besides that, I'd like you to also share a tidbit about how you would encourage those coming behind you. You've spoken a lot about those that have gone before us, right? How you've paid homage to a lot of those greats that have come before us. But what would you share that you would like to leave behind for those coming behind?
I guess some tidbits of how to move forward. I mean, unshaken determination, hard work, resilience, an unbreakable spirit, generosity, compassion, and empathy for others. These are really crucial things needed. I can't stress how much you need to be rooted in tradition in order to do anything that will inspire somebody. Otherwise, you would just keep repeating what's happened already. You won't. It's really hard to say how, especially in this type of business and art form, how much you need to believe that no matter what, you will never stop until the last breath in your body is there. That's when you'll say, I'll give up. So your goal and your dream is and your purposes. You have to just make it clear to the universe, clear to God, and clear to people. It does not matter if I have to crawl there. I will do it. And then get as far as you can go and bring as many people with you as you can.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. And you just summed it all up. You put your last liberating thought in there, and you shared a little bit about what you would leave behind for those that come behind you. So, LaKecia, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience? Any up and coming dates? Anything that's going to be happening in the United States? Any places you'll be going that you'll be performing? What's coming up next?
We have a long Europe tour for a month. But the next United States dates are March 7th, we're playing in DC at the Kennedy Center.
Mm-hmm.
April 10th, we're playing in at the Berks Jazz at Cookstown, Pennsylvania. 19th, we're playing in Katona, New York for Karen Moore Performing Arts Center. April 25th, we're at New Orleans Jazz Fest, so I'm excited about that.
Why are you excited about that? For the food?
I've never actually been to New Orleans.
And wow.
And I've never played the Jazz Fest. So we are viewing ourselves. We are headlining in the jazz tent. And we're about to show out. I like show out environments. So.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. Well, LaKecia, thank you so much for joining us tonight, sharing a little bit of your time. We know you have a busy schedule. We know that rest is really important, but you have decided that it was good for you to come and be with us. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the connection, the fact that our paths did cross. And I'm looking forward to the wonderful things that God would have in store for us, because I don't believe that we cross paths for no reason. I believe we cross paths with intention and with purpose in mind. And so we will move forward to have some wonderful collaborations, maybe in the future, some wonderful things to come. And I'm glad to just say, I know you. I thank you for sharing your gift with us. And to those of you that have watched us, if you're watching now or if you'll be watching in the replays, we are so grateful that you joined. You took a little time out of your day to join with Living the Liberated Life with Dr. KJ. And next month, we have two great episodes that are coming up next month. Our next episode is going to be on March 7th. And that episode is going to be dealing with intimate encounters. That's right, intimate encounters. We're going to be talking about intimacy and wellness. So we want you to join us. And then I am starting a series entitled Life Altering Experiences, right? And that will be 3 to 4 individuals that will be coming on each episode, sharing with us some life-altering experiences. You've heard LaKecia share about her life-altering experience tonight, about her car accident, how it impacted her. Well, we have 3 great people that are going to be coming to share some of what has happened in their lives and how God turned what the devil meant for evil for good. So we thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to you all joining us. Yes, you want to say something?
And can we place up one little just a 60-second thing for people that need a word?
For sure.
Yeah.
Amen. Amazing grace. Thank you so much. We appreciate your gift and we appreciate you sharing your time with us. And with that, family, I want you to rest in the spirit of that song. And as I always say, live liberated. Good night.